Hi my dear students, myself Deepa and I am going to teach you social science for 6th standard. In 6th standard, total you will get 2 parts book. First part for first sem and second part for second sem. In the first part, total 12 lessons are there. History, civics and geography. In history, 8 lessons, civics 2 lessons and geography 2 lessons. So children, today I am going to start first lesson, that is introduction to history. This introduction to history lesson, in this lesson you are going to learn about what is history, why we want history and sources of history. So these are the 3 points you are going to learn in this lesson. Firstly, let us learn what is history. History means learning about the past events. Here not only learning about the past events, learning with a systematic manner, in the systematic way. What is this systematic way? Let me give you an example. I think all of you heard about stories. Your parents, grandparents, they tell you stories. So how they start stories? There was a king. He was ruling in a good manner and he was having one wife and 2 children. One day he went to forest for hunting. This is the way your parents start the story. But how we start history? So Ashoka was a brave king of Maurya dynasty. He ruled from Pataliputra in 261 BC and he participated bravely in the Kalinga war. After that war, he has changed the path of his life. So this is the way we explain history. Children, you found the difference between story and history. I think all of you got it. So here in story, we don't have authentication, but in history, we have authentications. What is this authentications? So in history, I told you particularly when, where, why, these all incidents I told you. So that is called systematic learning. So here, what is history means? Learning the past events in a systematic manner or systematic presentation of the past events is called history. So this is about the meaning of history. Next, we are going to learn the second point, that is why we want history. Children, do you think we need history? Of course we need history. Why? Let me give you one more example. So all of you experienced the flame of fire. First time when you touch the flame of fire, you feel that your skin burns. But next time when you see the fire, will you touch it? No, because you got experience and you remember that experience. Even history also is like a experience and also memory. So in our life, in society or in state, in country, in the world, memory is very important because whatever we learn, we have to keep in memory. Whatever we get experiences, we have to keep in memory. Think one moment, if you don't have a memory, what happens? So next time we commit the same mistakes again and again. So that memory is very important. We learn from our experiences. So history also like experience and memory, so that it is very important. In history, we learn the journey of a human being. When, where, why, these all particular authentications we get in the history. So that it is very important. So this is why we want history. History is also record of good and wrong decisions, sorrowful and joyful experiences, difficulties faced by our ancestors, and also their experience, means our ancestors' experience, their sacrifice, patriotism. These all will inspire the next generation. So that history is very important. Herodotus of Greece country was the first to show how to construct the history. Hence, Herodotus is called father of history. So, this comes under the why we want history. Friends, next we learn, that is next point, sources of history. Here, historian use historical evidences to be particular and authentic. So, it is believed that there can't be history without sources. And also, one who constructs history, he is a historian. Here, Herodotus of Greece country was the first to show the world how to construct the history. So that it is believed that Herodotus is the father of history. So even he also used the sources. So that sources are like a backbone for the body. How much backbone is important for the body, in the same way sources are like a backbone for the construction of history. So here sources are classified into two parts. Those are literary sources and archaeological sources. Here literary sources, in the literature, literature means written or orally conveyed messages or informations. It is called literature. Once again, literature means orally or written conveyed informations are called literature. Here literary sources are classified into two groups, that is written literature and oral literature. Written literature, it is written by the literates, and oral literature, it is constructed by illiterates who can't read and write. So here in written literature, again it is classified into two parts. One is native literature, another one is foreign literature. So this is about written literature. Next comes to oral literature. In oral literature, we can add Lavanis, mimes, folk songs, folk tales, ballads and other stories. These all comes under the oral literature. These all constructed by the illiterates who can't read or write. So they tell their own experience in a song or a story way. So this is about the literary sources. So let's discuss another type of historical sources, archaeological sources. The meaning of archaeological sources is the physical remains or ruins of the things used or constructed by our ancestors or constructed in past are called archaeological sources. Here the remains have been buried in the earth. Those are removed by excavation. What is excavation? Excavation is a scientific method of digging the earth to remove the buried things. Buried ಅಂದರೆ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Buried ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So those buried things removed by excavation. It is one type of scientific method. For this excavation, many tools are used, like brush, trowel, knives and wooden needles. By those they dig the earth and remove the things which are buried in the earth. So, this is called excavation. So, this is about the archaeological sources meaning. So, what are the things they remove from the earth? For example, coins, monuments, inscriptions, pieces of pots, beads, crystals, bones. Like this, many things are removed by excavation. So, the things which are used by our ancestors. So, this is about archaeological sources. So, these all are in the sources of history. Had the knowledge of history in the form of stories, ballads and folk tales. In this, but Europeans, they constructed in a different way. They constructed the history in different way. So, in that, so many Europeans arrived to India to study about the Indian history. Even they wanted to study about Indian history, but in the 16th century, many Europeans arrived and they wanted to take control over the Indian administration. So, during that time only, already Britishers got the power to collect the revenue in the Bengal. During that time only, many administrators got interest to study about the Indian history and about the culture of the India. So, among them, one person, Heinrich Roth, he was in Agra and he wrote or he translated Sanskrit grammar into Latin language. But after one century, one more person, one more historian, his name is Father Curadex. Father Curadex. He told that there are many similarities between Latin grammar and Sanskrit grammar. So, like that, many historians started to study about the Indian history. In that, one more person, Sir William Jones. Sir William Jones. He was a judge in Bengal and also he studied about Indology. Study of Indology means study of India, and also he has established Asiatic Society in 1784. Along with that, he was a multilingual person. Multilingual person means he was knowing many languages. So that what he done, he has translated Gita Govinda, Kalidasa Shakuntala and Manava Dharma Shastra. These all books he translated to English. So, he was one of the great historian. Max Muller, he is another one historian. He was from German. He wrote the book Sacred Book of East. In the same way, one more historian, James Mill. He was from Scotland. He wrote the book History of India. But not least, Abbe Du Bois is another one historian. He arrived from French and he settled in Ganjam. Ganjam is one of the place in Srirangapatna. Abbe Du Bois, how many years he lived in the India? He lived as a sage by adopting the local culture and customs. And also he wrote the book on the culture, festivals, values of India. He has included these all in his book. And he lived here for 24 years. After that, he returned to France. So, this is about the Abbe Du Bois. And by this, the first lesson is going to complete. That is Introduction to History. Thank you so much.